Bug, bug, bug. Big bug.
Eggy, eggy, gone, gone. Baby eggy gone for good. Help! 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 Marge! Marge knows. Marge saw. Ask Marge. They were stolen! The babies! The eggs! Something took them! Horror! Thief! Horrible thief! It came in the night! It took the eggs! It scrambled away fast, fast, fast! Big! Big as a cow! Big as a house! And many, many legs! Too many! If I showed you, you could bring them back! You could bring them back! Map! Show me your map!
In a flurry of feathers, she leaps up and picks a small hole in your map.
That's where they are! I went after my babies, I saw where they went! But they've changed so much, much! Much! Bring them back!
The kid is whistling an off-key tune as he strolls about shiftily. He raises an eyebrow at your approach, but says nothing.
Ain't up to how. Just looking for someone. Seen Ben Mesd. Too bad.
The kid shoves his hands in his pockets and ambles off, resuming his tuneless whistling.
You ever think about running off? Like Barnaby and Sandy?
Hell no. You know what Raymond would do if he caught us?
Yeah. I guess you're right.
Of course I'm right. Stick with me, kid. I won't steer you wrong.
You ever think about running off? Like Barnaby and Sandy?
Hell no. You know what Raymond would do if he caught us?
Yeah. I guess you're right.
Of course I'm right. Stick with me, kid. I won't steer you wrong.
You ever think about running off? Like Barnaby and Sandy?
Hell no. You know what Raymond would do if he caught us?
Yeah. You're right.
Of course I'm right. Stick with me, kid. Get yourself in check, boy. I won't have you running off like Millicent and Tully. You'll just end up sliding down some Voidvoken's gross gullet, piece by piece.
The older-looking magister notices your presence. He wipes his grubby hands downward across his greaves, as if to wipe away the grime, but instead smears more dirt onto them.
Halt, dwarf! What word do you bring?
His face goes pale and his eyes open wide. The magister that greeted you remains stiff, as if enduring a harsh wind.
The void woken come.
Hush, Fader. You may pass, traveller. Dare say you'll be aching to leave before long anyway. But before you do, find Raymond, the White Magister. He'll want to know what you've seen. Be quick, mind. He's set to sail any moment.
He nods his head in the direction of the bridge, but offers no other instructions.
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe.
Are you sure? Them sorcerers from the caravan?
They'd be daft to come back. And as long as there's no sorcerers, there's no void woken. You're fine as long as you don't go wandering.
I've heard stories of driftwood. My kind ain't exactly thriving here.
What's this? I found something.
This poor unfortunate died just when he thought he was free. There are marks on his body. Something in the water got to him.
Kingdom, and we will have it back. I won't always be sweeping, I'll be riding horseback. We dwarves had a kingdom, and a proud knight was I won't always be sweeping, for my kingdom I'll die. Heavens to Bessie, another one. More queer folk than commoners in Driftwood these days. Just look at you. Strong as a bull, I hear you lot say. Makes me moo, that does. But you look as strong as my buddy and me combined. Anyway, tavern's just down the road. Can't miss it. 'Cause that's where all the queer ones go. Clanking dwarves, dozy lizards. I even saw him drag a void woken down there in the dead of night. Don't know what's going on in that tavern, but it must be a freak show in there.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Go away, dwarf. Good day to you.
There's a lot of call for the junk you sell, Ben.
Junk? Why, I offer nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients, and
Vapid fiction, along with a large helping of ham. together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
Good day to you.
Don't come visit your son. Who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
My word, but you do look exhausted. I bet you could use a touch of... Have at it. Got yourself
As
situated.
long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
We're not in any mood to talk about it.
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take
Keeping
what
it
we can
together,
get.
Bree.
Keep talking, dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
Too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Tell me, have you heard any news?
Nothing good. The boy woken are everywhere.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
So don't come over.
Yes.
Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
Yep.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Good day, brother.
You look down at the cart and see
Suit yourself.
War's a brewing, my friend, and with special prices. War is hell, my friend, but it's very good for business. Good luck to you.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Executes 24 noblemen for insubordination.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
Against the ancient empire.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Protect against bullfight.
Bishop Alexander was slain by singers. Culprits still at large.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Queen
Keeping it together, Bree?
executes 24
I'm all right, as long
noblemen
as I
for
don't think about it too much.
insubordination.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as you're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as you don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double. You two, Julian, show 'em how it's done, man. Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. That's it. The barrels and the chests.
The dog lies there quietly, clearly in great pain.
What are you looking at? I'm sick here. Get lost.
You're safe among
It snaps at your hand.
Never forget it.
Got a pain in the neck. Got a bad pain in the neck.
It flinches. A low, threatening growl builds within its throat.
Smells worse over here.
Under the collar, you find the sharpened points of metal rivets, gouging the poor dog's skin. The dog bares its teeth at you and growls. The dog gives you a long, hard stare, but does not bite you. Yet. The dog goes to bite your hand, and then realizes the pain is gone.
Hey, I feel okay. Thanks. Think I'll wander off now. Here, before I go, what can I do to show my gratitude?
You're safe among
Master did.
Never forget it.
Huh? Wait a minute. Master hurted me? Excuse me.
He turns to his master.
You bad man, you!
Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog ran away. God damn it! That was my livelihood. Penny for a grieving beggar? I reckon I'm owed it here.
God knows what'd stop those beasts.
You wouldn't do that, would you? Oh, yes. You would do that, wouldn't you? I couldn't prevail upon you to change your mind, could I?
Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen raw.
He gives you a cool look, then rummages in his pocket. He counts the money out and hands it over.
That's your lot. Go on then, get lost, you freeloader. I'm working here.
God knows what'd stop those
The carved figure is a resplendent sight in this ramshackle village.
Keeping it together, Bree.
Your touch creates a ripple across the mosaic, as if it were water and not stone.
You're safe.
A comforting warmth spreads through you, starting at your fingertips.
That's it. Barrels and the chests. On the double.
You'd swear the shark
You
was
two, Julian,
smiling
show
at
'em
you.
how it's done, man. Go on, you mute sacks of flesh. Put your backs into it. I'll not lose another day to the tide. The Lord Dread awaits. Its sails billow with Dallas's breath. I'll...
The Magister stops, barking orders. He sniffs the air like a predator, turns to face you, the wolf eyeing the deer.
Oh, but yours is not a stink like the one that surrounds us, spat from a dying sea. Tell me, have you ever been strung up by the hands? Your body swinging like a bell's clapper as your bones are being broken with cast iron rods? We do cruel things unto others and unto ourselves because we must.
He licks his lips. Dry flesh turns wet.
See, I'd like to string you up too. Rack you with rods and leave you dangling over a puddle of your own blood and piss.
His sliver of a smile could rival a rattler's.
I'm very good at what I do, see? I don't even need a sauce hound yapping at my side. There was a whiff of something in the air when you approached. A current of filth, that is to say, sauce. Best convince me I was mistaken.
He leans in closer and sniffs the air once more.
Interesting. So I was mistaken. Must have been ambition I smelt on you, not the magic that dare not speak its name. Very well. In that case, we'll forego the gallows and turn straight to the hunt. No doubt a trustee of Dallas is champing at the bit to see some action. Seems peaceful here, doesn't it? A quiet day in a quiet town. One wouldn't think these drifting woods toss on dwarf-troubled waters. But they do. Consider for a moment the dwarf. What is he? What are you, A mule? A beast of burden. But some defy that role. There are rats among them, dancing to their rat queen's tune. I've need of a rat catcher. Of course, I must depart post-haste, but Julian here will stay behind and be a good little parrot. Ask and he will answer.
Stay behind? But I've my orders. Same as you. Dallas.
Like I said, Julian is staying. And with that, I must be off. No hard feelings about the death threats, of course. How about we part shaking hands instead of stringing them up? How very heartwarming. One last thing. The Magisters here are diligent men and women. A stranger like you may run into troubles with them. Should this happen, just wave this piece of parchment in their eager little faces. My signature will placate them without fail, I assure you. Adieu and good luck. The Lord Dread awaits. The use of the gallows I pass on to you. The time has come, my stitched lit lovelies. We set sail. get on board and man your stations.
Left behind like a dog. Bah! 7 curses upon that shit.
The Magister is rubbing the dirt off his robes, none the worse for wear, apparently, from the blast of magic that knocked him off his feet.
You, the so-called friend of Dallas. I'd be whining and dining aboard the Lord Dread if it weren't for you. Your meddling in Magister affairs had better be worth it. A man of stature wouldn't be moored on a dock with no one but dead fish for company. But here I am and here you are, so... to business. Now answer me. Did you meet with a Magister caravan on your way into town? The hour's growing late and I'm beginning to worry something might have gone wrong. By the bishop's bones, you saw it? Now, out with it, man. What happened? Void woken. That means source was used. Which means some third party must have attacked first. Another fit. Raymond, that old goat, always suspected there's more to the Driftwood dwarves than meets the eye. Hate to admit it, but I think he may be right. Too many things have gone wrong along Reaper's Coast to attribute to bad luck. Magister ships sinking, weapons disappearing, and as you've seen, a caravan attacked and destroyed. Rumour has it the Dwarvian Queen herself is behind these acts of sabotage. That is what I want you to prove. They've always been snakes in the grass. Cheap labour, sure, and hard workers too. Half of them are their queen's spies. Her eyes, her ears, her poison-pouring hands. You know what Queen Justinia is like, surely. A tyrant and a master strategist to boot. There's a local thug, Loha. He runs an operation out of his hideout beneath the Black Bull Tavern. I suspect this man of being a spy for his queen.
It may be interesting to have a word with him. Find out what he's up to. Where I really want you to ferret around is Reaper's Bluffs, to the west of Driftwood.
It's wild territory, remote and hostile, where I believe the dwarves may have set up a base of operations away from prying eyes. Should you find any such place, and better yet, proof that Loha is working in behalf of Queen Justinia, you will be handsomely rewarded, I assure you. In that case, go forth and let the hunt commence!
I've got years of fishing experience behind me, and I'm reduced to begging to gut and clean what catches make it back.
Latest news! Fresh from the War Owl! Hear all about it! Many a latest, my friend. The war, the bishop, the queen. What tickles your fancy? Ain't looking too good for them lizards. Word is, the Divine Order's going to hit the ancient empire and hit it hard. You remember what happened to the elves, don't you? Ain't no one left standing when you treat him to death fog. Seven save us. Stabbed in the back he was by them vile, low-born, treacherous seekers. Kill them all, I say. Do them like Magister Raymond did old Lady Seaver. That'll teach them traitors. I mean, they doomed us all, didn't they? The son of the Divine is dead. Gone. Who'll save us now? Jolly Justinia, Queen of the Dwarves. Ah, scourge, more like. Here's 20 or so noble gentlemen. No one knows what they did wrong, if anything. And she has them stripped and whipped all the way to the execution grounds. Didn't even give them the dignity of the sword, no sir. Had them all hung. Real slow like. You ask me, I say she's mad as a mink with its tail on fire. Begging your pardon, of course.
Once, this was a tavern, or a hotel, or a brothel.
Magister's dropping left and right. Can't say I'm shedding any tears.
Where is it? Where is it? Sir, please, have you seen a small burlap pouch lying about? Blast! It's gone for good, I fear.
She rubs a hand over her smooth head, then suddenly looks up at you. Her great greenish-gold eyes are alive with worry.
There isn't any chance you could spare a moment to help me look, could you? I wouldn't dare ask it if it weren't terribly important.
She nods and turns to take her leave, but stumbles, falling a little into your arms. She laughs, embarrassed, and quickly rights herself.
Terribly sorry. I'm not in my proper mind today, it seems. I'll keep looking myself. Good day to you.
Surrounded by incompetence, I deserve a better post. We wander and wonder.
I'm approaching this the wrong way. I must be.
May the seven usher us to paradise against all the odds.
Come on, damn you. Think.
An elf in tattered red robes shifts through pages of handwritten notes spread across the table.
So many suspects. So many potential culprits. I need to narrow down the list. Think, you damn elf, think.
A floorboard creaks beneath your foot. The elf leaps around abruptly.
What are you doing, dwarf? Trying to get a drop on me? Sneak up and slit my throat? Bah! Just another cowardly dwarf. The only one I want to fight is whoever's responsible for the disappearances of my Magister comrades in this town. I was removed from their ranks due to my elven blood. I'll continue to serve, though. I won't stand to see my comrades taken by some vile traitor. The Magisters are all I know, all I want. I turned my back on everything else when I joined them. My name, my blood, my history. If I'm not one of them, I'm nothing. I have to help them. 3 Magisters missing so far, and the rest are hunting for some sorcerer called Higba, a bloody tinkerer. He can't be responsible. I'm certain he can't. He might be a greedy little junk peddler and a sorcerer to boot, but hardly capable of seizing magisters. They won't listen to me. Not anymore.
The elf nods stoically.
Exactly. I'm convinced that this tavern holds the key. It's full of scum and degenerates. The true culprit could easily hide amongst them. I have to keep investigating. Keep the pressure up. The culprit will make a mistake eventually. If you see anything suspicious, let me know.
The elf's face creases into a mask of fury.
Another ill word against my brothers, and I'll see this floor wet with your blood. Now get out of here, and don't come back unless you have information I can use. This is going nowhere.
A valiant warrior against the boy.
That's no good. It doesn't make sense. I'm missing something.
We wait, we wander and wonder.
Anyone up?
May the seven usher us to
Pretty
paradise.
good, ain't he? Bet he'd even write a poem for you if you sidled up all nice like.
You'd know even a smaller good if it bit you on the
You
arse.
have interrupted my newest masterpiece.
The bard opens his mouth to continue his poem, but another glance at your face has him choking on his own spit.
Oh! The beast himself infests this rotting town, does he? Oh, the poems I've heard chanted of your deeds and misdeeds. Never composed a beast ballad myself, come to think of it. Tell you what, I shall craft a rhyme for you. All I ask in return is a handful of coins. It's an offer of a lifetime. Normally I'd argue with you, but you do have a certain look about you. Very well. But if I am to write a first-rate work, you must face some difficult questions.
He stares at you for a few torturing moments.
Interesting. Most fellow dwarves prefer drinking chants to the fine art I offer. But I see it. The redness of your nose, the lilt of your gait. Drink can get the better of you, yes?
He smiles a crooked smile and runs a hand through his greasy hair.
Not that I could judge a dwarf for his drinking habits. After all, the kingdom is a shadow of its former self. Who is to blame for its collapse? Oh, amazing, isn't it? That so many of us must beg for scraps while royalty feasts on fresh meat and grain. Condemn our queen, if you dare.
The bard hems and haws, then bellows his next words to anyone who might hear.
To all lovers of verse, I bring glorious news. I have completed another modern classic. Listen now, and bask in its resounding refrain. Raise a glass and praise the dwarven race, who'd let nary a drop go to waste. A sip of rum, a frothy pint of ale, and then a flask of whiskey for the trail. Alas, we've seen them tumble from their tower, the commonest among them stripped of power. The queen hides within her gilded manor. If they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to and dares to wave her tattered, tarnished banner.
The Majesty's caging anyone up that looks at them funny.
Raise a glass and praise the dwarven race, who'd let nary a drop go to waste.
I don't think
don't know even a small of him. Arguing with Mac is like giving medicine to the dead. He's as stubborn as a corpse and smells the part to boot. No wonder Papa Thrash gives him the stink any time he tries to go downstairs.
I don't give a rat's ass what they say downstairs. The Magisters is all that stands between us and the Voidwoken. We should be grateful.
Wave her tattered, tarnished banner.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Right away.
Come on.
Good with the Magisters caging anyone up that looks at them funny.
That divine voice, that idyllic poetry. Nothing like the other dwarves' uncouth chants. Barstam's music is as...
Nearly a drop go to waste.
Ah, finally. Your colleague over there is absolutely useless. I'll have a bowl of the house stew, if you please. Oh, pity. I've been trying to get a little something to eat all day. But the giggleheads who run this establishment don't seem to be willing to provide a fellow with his fair portion. After all I've been through, too.
He lowers his gaze, then looks up at you expectantly. His lip trembles dramatically.
It's my mentor. My dear mentor. He was... killed by those void beasts. I told him we ought not to travel in the hills, but would he listen? No. Now here I sit, my closest companion gone, our precious cargo worth more than Lucian's right ring, lost to the beast-infested wild, and the waiter won't even bring me any stew. Oh, then perhaps my luck has changed. Yes, perhaps this awful business might soon be behind me. Tell me, how are you in, well, Voidwoken? Ah, terrific news. Then what I ask will be little more than a trifling. My mentor, Liam, and I were hauling in a goodly number of fine wares from the Southlands when we crossed paths with a great brute of a Voidwoken. It made short work of Liam, may the gods rest his soul. I managed to escape, but my precious cargo was left behind. We'd invested our entire livelihood in those wares. I'd do anything to get them back. Of course. We'll, discuss the specifics once you've returned. Now, give me your map. I'll show you just where to look. I doubt those beasts out there have any use of such a cargo. I can't tell you how thoroughly you've made...
She nods an uninterested greeting.
Here for the fight? This is a tavern. People are drinking. Eventually there'll be a fight. You planning on starting one? Buy me a drink and I'll think about it. Cheers. Later then.
A prim woman in a starched apron wipes a glass with a clean rag. She pins you with blue, steel-sharp eyes as you approach the bar.
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine.
With surprising agility for a woman of her age, she reaches over the bar and swings a hand toward your face. You brace yourself for the incoming blow, but she instead points her finger into your face.
We don't speak of His Holiness that way in this establishment. Well, you can't be blamed if your mother didn't teach you any better. But that can't be helped now, I suppose.
Not everyone received the same education as my Niles. He's a magister, mind. Dead. So what are you after? Yes, that's my boy. Did you know him? Finest physician in all of Reaper's Coast. Top of his class. My, but it's been too long since I've seen him. A deviant? But what do you mean? Tell me what you saw.
Prudence takes up a clean glass and starts to polish it with her rag, rubbing at invisible water spots with zeal.
Told him the Divine punished him for that nonsense if he kept it up. Told him and told him and told him till he couldn't see straight. I should have told him so hard he'd never get back up.
She turns away from you and continues polishing the glass, eyes darting quickly around the bar, focusing on nothing.
Nothing. Not for you.
An elf sways on her chair, her eyes focused on the counter in front of her, where she has 6 glasses in a row. With the nails of 2 fingers, she's pressing red welts into her forearm. She slides one of the drinks towards you, her head bobbling heavily on her neck as she nods at the sparkling ale.
And that's... Drink or shut up. Nothing like a glass of the good stuff to smudge everything into a pretty shape.
She slides another glass of ale toward you. Its contents sparkle in the dim bar light.
Bottoms up. It's a sad story about a lover who left me out cold. Name's mind your business. Cheers to you, me.
Her gaze swivels around the room.
Damien's dull knife. This place is horrible. Never mind. Cheers to you, me. Another. Give me one good reason. Maybe. I just, it's hard.
She shows you the 2 swollen, angry red welts on the underside of her arm. She slaps them without finesse, making herself wince, and stares at you intensely.
I know how to make it better. I can fix it, all of it. I'll tell you. There's this woman. I'm not crazy. And if she kisses you, she can change you. She's downstairs. And now I'm different. It's in her lips. It's in the magic. I changed the right way. And then, I think now I'll be fine. You understand how, sometimes you just want to be fine. Hey, Prudy, this guy says he's doing fine. Huh? What a sap. Not all of us are so lucky. Excuse me.
A frothy pint of ale. And then
A flask of whiskey for the trail. Alas, we've seen them tumble from the tower.
I'm telling you, if they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to hide.
Hey up, if it ain't the beast, man. Can't believe you found driftwood. How do you smell the ale over all that rotten fish?
The unfamiliar dwarf scratches his head nervously, then chuckles again. He doesn't seem sure what to say next.
Back at ya. Welcome to Effie's Emporium, where the real upper crust dwells. The freakies and the deakies, the dregs and the dreamers. Your kind of place, in other words. No one will know you're here. I'll be as quiet as a mouse, you bet. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
What's this? I found something.
Look at that. A fresh feed. Good to meet you, Governor. What's your poison, then? A sip or a smoke? Aye, so it is. But not just any Drudnay. Oh, no. My own special blends. Further down's the arena, see? And the gladiators are always on the lookout for an edge. I give them that edge. You could say that my darling herbs flower in the flesh and blossom in the brain. So, if you're interested, Governor, all you have to do is use your imagination. How can I make you bloom?
Watch him fight. Watch him. See that? Right in the kisser. Doesn't.
Are you? No, you aren't.
Hail, darling. Call me Dorothea.
She draws close. You feel her breath on your neck, hot, moist.
Oh, yes. I have something that you want. But I only bargain with those I deem deserve. Are you worthy of my gift? Oh, dear. You assume something as fleeting as your appearance is enough to impress me. I'm afraid that I can't honor such idle bragging with my favors. Surely you've accomplished something of note. Handsome, I must consider your merits before I answer your questions. Why, I wouldn't tease you with a gift I could never offer. Indeed. This is acceptable. You are nearer the one than most self-described heroes I've known. So, tell me, are you ready for me to grant you your greatest desire? Oh, I see through your shell, dwarf. You want more than booze and brawls. You have a need. To expose it, look into my ring and tell me what you see there. Gaze into the gem, my wild and lovely dwarf.
She flashes her ring at you, and you stare at the luminescent stone at its center. You are floating on a current of pure source, surrounded by a kaleidoscope of colors and fuzzy images. On the horizon looms a dark silhouette. As you approach, a beam of light washes the shadow away, revealing to you
Yes. I see you clearly now. It is power you seek. To conjure maelstroms and command the light to drive away shadow. I will fulfill this desire. In return, a kiss.
Dorothea sighs, a fusion of a kitten's purr and a cockroach's clacking.
For me to help you, our souls must touch. And a kiss brings our souls closer, does it not?
She squeezes her supple lips into a narrow strip.
Unfortunate. We're finished here.
My good sir, I see that you accompany no other than His Royal Majesty, the Red Prince. I have a message for him of quite vital importance.
Of course he'll be so kind. Speak freely, kinsman. As a rule, no. In my present circumstances, very much so. Let's hear it.
Directions, my lord. I was bid to send you to none other than Brahmos the Wanderer. He was waiting for you here, my prince. But...
He looks around the hazy room with hasted eyes.
The House of Shadows stirs. The Honorable Brahmos sensed them closing in. He had no choice but to flee from Driftwood. A little ways east he went, in search of safety, to an encampment of paladins. You will find him there, Majesty.
Indeed I am. We will follow your directions. You have my thanks, kinsman.
Prince of Princes, I am humbled and grateful.
He bows deeply before the Red Prince, as reverently as one would before a god.
Bugger off. Can't you see I'm trying to relax? Who? Me? You're nuts. I'll bet you did. So why'd you let me get close enough to nip some gold right out of your pouch, right? Now, like I said, please kindly bugger off. It's turned to smoke by now. Go ahead and take it from my flesh if you want. I don't care. Please. You there.
The House of Shadows stirs. An ominous phrase. It's as if I can feel the onset of night. Quite. But you must realize that until a short while ago, the very existence of the House of Shadows was a mystery to us. If this thing of darkness steps into the light, it must be desperate. And desperate means dangerous. Who said anything about fear? I hardly know the meaning of the word. But I suppose you do have a point. If they are dangerous, we will simply have to be more dangerous. And if they onward then, let them strike when they may. We shall be ready for them.
Leave me alone.
What do you...
Talk, you traitor.
Listen up. Don't waste this... What do you want? Boss is busy.
You've really ticking me off, Marla.
Loha, you've been living under a boulder. Good. Boss could use some good news. Listen up. Don't waste his time. These are explosive times. Be I brought you up from girl to woman, Marla. Like you was my own. This...
He lifts his right arm, showing a white bandage beneath his ribs. A wet red spot shows through.
This ain't the thanks I expected. Who sent you?
The formidable dwarf slams his fist on the side table. You hear a loud crack.
Enough! Do you know they killed Anhar? Do ya? Start talking sense or I'll take that tongue right out of your mouth and fry it for supper. Bart, Cade, get her to talk or bleed her out. She ain't one of mine anymore.
His sneer travels from the restrained dwarf to you.
And you. You're a brave lad waltzing in here now.
The dwarf rolls his eyes and shakes his head with a sigh.
So who was it that sent you? Gal? Cared? Well, you can tell him that...
He squints and tilts his head, then taps his forefinger against his lips, before pointing it directly at you.
I know who you are. The beast of the sea. So, what brings you to this good-for-nothing town?
Lohar's lips move as he reads through the note. After a moment, his lips go still, and his face turns the color of bone dust.
I know this isn't looking so good, but you gotta trust me when I tell you the Queen's no friend of mine. Not no more.
He hawks a wad of spit on the floor, then motions to the room around him.
I'm a businessman. I can't say I always keep things on the up and up, but I don't think a rogue pirate's got a lot of room to judge a man for his various trade concerns. And what Justinia's cooking up ain't so good for my bottom line. I don't want to help Justinia. I want to stop her. You would kill the only man who might aid you. I was hoping you was a reasonable man, Beast. You might have left the Isle of Mists, but you're still suffering from its madness.